Good day, everyone. This is Pastor Theo, and this is another installment of the Mini-Midweek meal. I hope you're all having a blessed week, and I hope this message adds to that blessing as it provides some instruction in some things that we can be focusing on as we grow and we continue to walk through God's fruit of the Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit that I touched on this past Sunday was meekness, also known as gentleness. And we learned that the Greek meaning of this word dealt with the fact that we don't exercise the power in and of ourselves, but we walk in the strength and power of God. And when we do so, it often means that we practice a level of self-restraint in not responding the way that we have every right to respond, not responding in our own power, but by responding in God's power, which may in man's eye come across as being weak. And as a result, sometimes people view meekness and confuse it with weakness, because it seems as though we don't respond in a way that lets the other know that we have a certain level of power, a certain level of strength. That if you come at me the wrong way, I can come at you that same way or even greater. But instead, when I have a response that dwells in the spirit of meekness, I chill. I fall back. And I instead allow God to be glorified by my response. And so we're going to be looking at a brief passage. Just a couple scriptures. The actual passage is a little bit longer, but I just want to focus on a couple scriptures. And this is found in the book of Proverbs. And Proverbs is known as a book that provides lots of godly instruction, lots of godly wisdom, nuggets of truth and wisdom. And it says in Proverbs 15, verses 1 and 2, a soft or gentle or mild answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of the fools pours forth foolishness. And the context is implying that what happens is that someone is coming at us. Maybe they are simply giving us some constructive criticism. Maybe they're simply putting forth a dissenting viewpoint, a differing viewpoint. Maybe they're challenging on us on something. Or it could be that they're flat out calling us out. They're flat out coming at us and even attacking us. And regardless of which way it's happening, the implication is the way we respond to them in that moment, we can either influence them in a way that they step up their game and now get even angrier, or we can de-escalate the situation by our response. And it's implying that when this happens, we may have every right to respond in kind. Someone comes at us, we have every right to go back at them. And yet, if we're going to respond in the way that we're demonstrating meekness, we would practice a level of self-restraint that we would not respond in the way that we have every right to respond. That we wouldn't go tit for tat. When someone brings something to our attention, think about it in the midst of relationships, especially with our significant others. Any of us who've been dating for a long time or been married, or in any type of relationship where someone has the ability to bring to your attention something that maybe they have against you because of maybe something you've done that harmed them, that hurt them. Our human tendency is to say, yeah, I might have done that, but what about you? You did this before, and all of a sudden now, they come at us, they rub us the wrong way. And we respond in kind by rubbing them the wrong way, which will oftentimes cause them to escalate their emotion in a negative way. We get defensive, And then we quickly get on the offensive, which makes them defensive, and then they get on the offensive. So it's saying that a soft answer, a mild answer, a gentle response will turn away wrath. It will help de-escalate that situation. It'd be hard for someone to continue to persist in their anger, in their vindictiveness, in their racism, in their hating, whatever it is. It's more difficult for them to persist in that, at least within the context of their conversation with you, if you resist the temptation to respond fire for fire, and instead you put that fire out with a gentle and meek response. Simple. Not easy. Trust me, it's not easy, but it's simple. And I know this, and yet I oftentimes struggle with the application of this. I will know in my heart of hearts that that's the right thing to do. Theo, respond not in kind, but in kindness. Don't respond in the same like fashion that they came at you. I know that. Yet I can tell you how often I drop the ball in terms of me responding in a way that adds to the drama. Whether it's my wife and I, we may have a heated debate, aka an argument, that may last for a while. Let's say if it lasts for an hour. And literally could have been avoided. If I rewind in my mind, maybe she said something and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I could have easily said this. And then we move on. But no, I said that. And not only did I say that, I said it in that way, and next you know, an hour later. Meekness can save you that time and that effort by our response. But a harsh word stirs up anger. If she rubs me the wrong way, my tendency at times is to get back. And all of a sudden now, it escalates. And then finally, when we work it all the way out, and we always work it out, we never go to bed upset, we work it out in a timely fashion. Oftentimes we reflect and we look back and we're like, we could avoid all of that if and all it took was the right response. But the reason why meekness is often seen as weakness is because in that time when someone rubs you the wrong way, and even if they come at you harshly, we don't want to come across as weak. So what we say is, we got to show our power right now. We got to show our strength. We got to make a stand. And we do so to the detriment of everyone involved, and it ends up escalating the situation. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly. For those of us who know better, we show better through our words. I know this scripture. I know better. And I know from experience, hey, the last time this happened, I made a promise not to go there the next time. And yet, may drop the ball again. What this is saying, the tongue of the wise, when a wise person speaks, they're using the knowledge they have correctly. They're using it to their benefit. They're not using it incorrectly. They're not misusing that knowledge. They're not abusing that knowledge. They're using it in such a way to say to themselves, how might I respond in a way that's going to be beneficial to all? Versus, I know for a fact, if I respond this way, it's going to go downhill quick. How do we use that knowledge rightly? But the mouths of the fools pours forth foolishness, which means those who are foolish are going to continue to speak in a way that is going to add to the drama. And all it's going to do is cause everyone involved to look back and say, well, if we would have just held our tongue, or if we would have just said this instead. And we end up looking foolish because we know better. We know better. And we're all taught that those who know better do better. And so please let us not get caught up Especially in today's society, there are plenty of opportunities, trust me. We are all being bombarded on all sides by individuals who will say stuff that rubs us the wrong way, who will say stuff that just really gets on our nerves, say things that we think that may be sexist or racist, say things that we think may be dangerous, or they may even say things that we need to hear, but we may not be in a place to hear those things. Some great critique that we need when we drop the ball. And in all those instances, how we respond is going to be crucial. Now, this doesn't mean we become welcome mats and we just let everyone freely walk on us, because there are times we need to be to stand up for ourselves. But what this meekness is saying is that there's a time when you know you have every right to, and you know you have every power to respond in a way that will knock it all out the box. But instead, in those moments, we respond in a way that allows God to be glorified, because we don't walk in our own strength, but in His strength. And it takes a new level of strength not to respond the way we want to respond in our flesh. Once again, this is Pastor Theo with this mini midweek meal, encouraging and challenging us all not to walk in the strength that we have, but to walk in a greater strength, which may mean that we walk in meekness, which should not be confused with weakness. It's actually power reserved. Take care, and God bless.